Hey, what's going on? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today I have a new knife here to share with you coming in from Rike Knife. Now while I get this opened, let me know down in the comments what your carry is. Now this knife here from Rike, it is available. I'll have it linked down below in the description and in the pinned comment. This is going to be on the Rike side and not the Tissot side. They are sister companies and you can access their entire catalog from one website, and I always recommend to people who haven't or haven't for a while, go over to their website and check out what they have, because they have one of the coolest catalogs of knives and EDC gear that I have ever seen. And this knife here is one that I've wanted to get my hands on for quite a while now. Now this is a Richard Wu design with Rike. I absolutely love the aesthetic of this knife. I know it won't be for everyone. Nothing ever is. But man, I love the look of this knife. I love the lines. I love the curves of the knife. I like the size of it. We're going to be looking at something over 8 inches here, no question. We'll check that in a moment. We're going to be looking at M390 for the blade steel. We have this fuller into a cutout here and what looks like a front flipper. This is going to be an inset titanium liner lock, so we aren't dealing with an exposed frame here, which will be nice as far as deployment goes. You don't have to worry about putting pressure on that lock bar. We have a crown spine here running into the nose of the knife, and you can see here where it's kind of chamfered out with that fuller. It is thinner and then thickens up just a little bit there and then thins off going back to the tip. Love that aesthetic there. And then we have a full length titanium geared backspacer with an integrated lanyard hole here, and we are looking at a milled titanium clip to go with the flow of the knife. And I think the ergonomics on this are going to be phenomenal, at least for basic EDC knives like this here. I don't see people taking out into the trades. We can look at things from all kinds of different perspectives, but in regards to just an EDC knife you're going to use to, do some cutting here and there throughout the day, this is going to be a nice knife. A full length backspacer makes a huge deal, in my opinion, as far as ergonomics are concerned. Not in every knife, but in a lot of knives, a full length backspacer will make the knife much more comfortable. And I also like the aesthetic a little better. It feels like everything is finished off nicely. We do have a good amount of access to our liner there that is chamfered, and we have jimping on it. That is exactly what we want to look for. That's how it's done. That is what, that's a premium feel and a premium look, in my opinion. I like when a liner or lock bar is chamfered and jimped. It's just better. It's more comfortable. It looks better. It's just the way to go, in my opinion. The detent is beautifully strong on this knife. It's not overly done. I would say it's about perfect for the cutout here. And I think it's a little stronger because you do have that front flipper there. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, we can. It's got some of the heavier jimps there, but you can flick it open. It's got a pretty strong detent, but it works. It works good. Yeah, it works good. It takes a little bit to get used to each and every front flipper that is out there because they are all slightly different. Let's go ahead and get a look at the size of this knife here. So we're going to be coming in at dead nuts on 3.5 inches of cutting edge. We're going to be looking at about 3 and we'll call it 5/8 strong of total blade, and this is going to be coming down there right at 8 and 5/16 overall. So to put that in a little bit of perspective for you, I'll bring out the Kaiser brothers. We got the drop bear up top and the Militol here on the bottom, and much bigger than the drop bear is, and you'll see that it's going to be quite a bit bigger than the Militol. It's got plenty more blade than the Militol does, and it's got a little bit more heft in some areas, and the blade is going to be much taller as well. And we got the Benchmade bug out up top and the Vostede raccoon on the bottom. Here again, going to be much larger than both of those. So how about we do this? The new ZT0203. I've actually been carrying these two knives in tandem for several days now. We have the Tissot Griffin V3 down here, and the 0203. It's going to be longer than the Tissot 2, and the Griffin is going to almost be identical in its length, and they both have a great size in my opinion, along with the 0203. Get a look here at the pocket clip, check the retention, see what it looks like in the pocket, and that's going to carry nice and deep there. Standard milled clip. You have the hidden hardware, which is going to keep the aesthetic extra clean. You have a lanyard hole here, and for the lanyard fans, which Tissot and Rike have some amazing EDC gear like that lighter, dice. They got all kinds of different keychains. Definitely recommend going and checking out their website. But that'll also hang out of the pocket if that's something you prefer. Retention is going to be good to go here, and very good on our 50 ways baked in cloth. Let's go ahead and give this thing a weight check. And for that, we'll need the arch nemesis here in the scale. We like to guess the weight of the knives here on the channel. And if you want to guess along with me, put your guess down in the comments. Doesn't matter if you have multiple comments. I welcome all of them. Now, as far as the knife and the weight goes, we have no milling internally except for what was done for the liner there. And then we have the full length backspacer here, which is going to give this knife some added heft. Oh, man. It's over 4, but I don't think it's at 5 yet. Oh, look at that. And this is a toolless design, too. I'm not quite sure how that works, but it is a toolless design. So it comes apart somehow, and I think it's by pushing in that star. I just remembered looking at the hardware deal here with the clip and the body. This is a toolless design. We'll look at that here in a moment. As far as the weight, it's got some heft. I'm going to say 4.7. 4.7 feels safe. Oh, yeah. 4.6, baby. So I wasn't sure. I was leaning more closer to 5. So, but yes, that's close. That's pretty damn close. 130 grams and 4.6 ounces. I mean, that's damn close. 0.1 off. Yeah, that's pretty good. But it's got a nice heft to it. But for its size, I think that's a good weight. Now we'll pick up here with a thickness check on our handle. And that's going to come in at a healthy 0.53 there. Very nice. That's what I pretty much prefer. With a knife, I'm going to, I don't want to say use, like not necessarily beat on, but that's just what I prefer in my hand is something a little bit more than 0.5. This is going to have a healthy blade stock, ladies and gentlemen. 172 thousandths on that beast. Wow. 172 thousandths. Let's get a behind the edge measurement here just to get an idea of what we're looking at here. And that's pretty close. That's going to come in there at like 21 thousandths behind the edge with that particular hold in that particular spot. But let's see how this knife cuts out of the box. And for that, we'll use our standard catalog paper here. We got a nice drop point, and it's got not that you want to shove this into, in between fence posts and try to pry them apart or something like that, but it's got a healthy thickness to it that you'll be able to do some piercing with this and not have to worry about that tip whatsoever. Drop point, very versatile blade shape, so speaks for itself. The M390 that Rike and Tissot does is right on point with, the industry standard, especially their uncoated stuff. I think those are up at 60, 61. And then I think their coated stuff is 59 to 60. I believe that's what it is. But Their uncoated stuff is up there, 6061, and I have not had an issue with what feels like, lackluster edge retention out of their M390. And trust me, I carry a ton of Rike and Tissot's knives, and I use them. Those are some of my most used knives, most carried knives, no question about it. They have become one of my favorite knife companies in the entire industry. I love everything about Rike and Tissot, their catalog, the difference maker that they really are. They're not afraid to go out and do some unique things and pull it off very, very well, in my opinion. Some stuff might be out there too much for you. I don't, that's going to be different for everyone. I am interested how this works here. I wish I knew. I have never seen a video on this or nothing, so I don't know. Does that get pushed in? I don't know how that works. Might be able to take a look here. Okay, so I figured it out. It's not toolless in the sense of the scales being removed. It's toolless in the sense that, now I just did it several times. Don't give me trouble. There we go. So the backspacer completely pops out of there via this button system. And it only will go back in one way. You have to put it in and let it ride up this kind of track here. And line that up. Push the button in. Push the button in like that. Make sure it's lined up. Push it in, make sure everything is secure, and that bad boy is in there good. Now, as far as the pivot goes, that's just going to be a regular old T8 inside that custom pivot there. So T8 for that guy there, and then, like I said, you have that kind of hidden feature of the knife. And that's just some of the cool things that they do that really makes me like what they're doing over there. Little things, the details are what make things great, no matter what it is. And with knives especially, it's the little details that really can make knives go up to different tiers, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, guys. And I think Rike and Tissot really push the limits of those details. I thought the mail guy was here, but he's not. So the Tissot 2, baby. This thing is, I got a chance to look at it, on their website, and I was like, man, that thing is just amazing looking. I loved the sleekness of it, the lines, how the handle was laid out. Now, I'm not always, depending on how the design is, a big fan of knives that slender off back here. But in the case of this one, because you're not really going to be back here, you know what I mean? Unless you're just doing something real quick or you need some reach on the knife, you're not really going to be back here. You're going to be kind of squeezed up in here, and or for me, most of the time up here or in, I cut a lot of things this way. So, to say like, oh, this is, how I'm going to be holding the knife all the time, that's just not the case. But even if I am, I'm going to be up here. Feels good. I don't feel anything ridiculous right off the rip. Can feel the pocket clip, obviously, that it's there, but it's smooth, chamfered. It feels good. Feels fine. Yeah, I like this. Let's go ahead and run this through some checks here. Centering is on point. The detent, like I said, is freaking amazing. Nice and strong for a liner lock. It's got a nice, clicky, strong detent. Lock up, feels good. Up and down, good. Side to side, good. So we're going to give this thing a couple of love taps here and see what this is made of. Just some taps. Just some tappy taps. Tap it in. Tap it in. That third one was a little good. Good. Sometimes that double tap, it puts enough strain on it that it sometimes will fail. There's little quirks to that knife failure thing. Some knives are very, very tricky, like if they're failing. But that's a video for another day. But that's one thing that I can say that Rike and Tissot, along with Concepts, stand out as two knife companies that I never get a knife from them that fails lockup, that has those type of issues. That is, Concept a little longer running, but that's really irrelevant. Really solid job from Rike and Tissot. Like I said, they got tons of different items over there. They got an awesome selection of lighters, pens, all kinds of different gadgets and whatnot. And then they got a massive selection of different knives. Like I said, what's been in my pocket for, quite a while now is the new Griffin. This thing is amazing. Absolutely love it. Front and rear flipper, cutout and fuller. Two ways to disengage it with the liner and the button. Same company. They are sister companies. Tissot here with the Griffin, and then Rike with the Tissot 2. They are, the same company. Like I said, you can access, if you go to the link in the description or in the pinned comment, it'll take you there, and they have everything on that one site. Good to go. You'll have to let me know. What do you think of the Tissot 2 from Rike? And let me know what you think of that new V3 Griffin as well. I always look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on these newer knives. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. They're definitely going to want to know about the new Rike Tissot 2. Share this video. Like the video. They both tremendously help push the video out there. That way more people watch, and it's better, and it's free. Speaking of free, if you're new or you're not subscribed and you're not new, but you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe. It just makes me feel better when I see that little number 1 subscriber off the video. Number 2 just makes me feel good. So if you've been watching and you're not subbed, hit that sub button. Come on. And if you are new completely, hit that sub button and let me know down in the comments that this is your first time stopping by. I'd love to chat with you. I'm going to pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check out the one you haven't seen yet. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.